So one of the things that I absolutely love doing is waking up, making myself a really, really nice cup of strong coffee, sitting here in the living room or outside and just watching the clouds roll in, the colors change, and sort of contemplating my day. Brazil is really known for making some of the best coffee in the world. So I was curious, would I be able to actually grow and make my own coffee, and would it be any good? So we're in an area of Brazil near the Mantiqueira Mountains, which is really known for some of the best coffee production in the world. Right behind me, behind those mountains, is the state of Minas Gerais, the south of the state of Minas Gerais, the Sul de Minas, which is known to produce some of the most gourmet, fancy coffee in the world. So if you look over here, you're producing Arabica coffee that's coming from the Sul de Minas. And that's because the coffee is at a pretty high elevation. There's a lot of microclimates, 900,000 meters or so in elevation. On this side, here in Sao Paulo, in São Francisco Xavier, there's not that much production anymore. But historically, in the 1820s, 1830s or so, that area over there on the other side was filled with coffee production. And they would actually take mules with 60 kilos of coffee and would traverse those mountains over there, right where there's this saddleback. There was actually these trails, these tropeiros, that would take coffee across the mountains from Minas Gerais state and over to the ports, into Sao Paulo city and to the port of Santos for distribution. So we're kind of in a historical area. In theory, I should be able to produce really, really, really good coffee right here in this region. So let's rewind. About 3 years ago, we planted these little baby coffee plants all over the property, but we actually planted them near these banana trees. Banana with coffee, that's the way you do it. That way the bananas provide shade for the little fledgling coffee plants to start growing. And over time, those plants get these beautiful white flowers. It looks like snow, it's beautiful. And those flowers then become these green beans, which is the coffee fruit itself. In no time, the coffee fruits become this bright red color, super nice, all over. We start gathering it. Here you can see one of our chickens running around along the banana trees. So, we've gotten the coffee ready. What does it actually look like? Well, initially it starts off as a very, very small bean, sort of like this, very green. And then it grows. Typically it becomes sort of more yellowish in color, sort of around this size right here. And then after some time, as you saw, it becomes this nice red, juicy color. You can actually, if you want, you can actually break it apart and all this goop comes out, as you can see. And then here are sort of two very nice coffee beans that come out. You can kind of see them right over here. You see? And in theory, you can even eat the skin. It tastes pretty good. Sweet, kind of tangy. I don't really like it, but it's worth eating. Now, I don't really know what you're supposed to do. Some people say leave the red bean on. That way the fruit flavors actually kind of ferment and they go into the actual bean itself. And then some people will basically remove the fruit and dry the beans, and gives a different kind of flavor profile. Since I didn't really know what I was doing, I just let the beans dry completely. So here we are drying the red beans out in the sun. It takes months. Pepper also thought it was a good spot to get some drying done. Over time it dries and it becomes black like this. This black bean right over here, you see. It's completely black and dark. So now the question is, how do we get this stuff out? And that's where the pilão comes in.
Turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss.
Now, you just have to hit this thing. Hopefully not lose too many of the beans. You can switch it up. I'm the pillow master. Pillow. And we can kind of see we have beans which are like here, separated from the husk. And now, with great difficulty, we try to remove the husks from the beans. In theory, you should be left with all these beans. In practice, I suck at actually separating the husks, so gotta sit here for some hours and remove them from here. A coffee expert took a look and said that they're actually very good quality, that I could be considered gourmet coffee. And this stuff you can actually just hold in sacks and store for quite a long time, which is kind of cool, huh? Now the question is, we gotta now roast it. I don't have a professional roaster, so I'm just gonna do it on a pan. It starts off like this, and we keep mixing it on a low temperature in a pan. Try to get it all evenly browned. The smell, the aroma is just incredible. Now we gotta grind the coffee, so I put it in here, and then... And the result, in the end, is something that looks like this. My own coffee. It smells really, really good. It smells like real coffee, so I know I didn't screw up that bad. It kind of looks like coffee too. Yum, 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 go. Coffee. See how my coffee here compares to the fancy stuff. Great. Now, how are we actually gonna make this coffee? Well, we're gonna use it with something called a coador. This is like a filter, cotton filter, looks like a sock, and some hot water that we have here. This is like very, very traditional. Yeah, I have one of those mochas and other types of machines, but this is the classic way of doing it. And there's a little known fact for you ladies, you single ladies out there. Apparently, if you want to seduce a man, you put some of the coffee and you use your underwear instead of one of these things to filter it out. And that coffee, 100% guaranteed to seduce your man or creep him out, one of the two. But it's better than those dating apps apparently, from what I hear. So let's get into it, see what we can do. We have here the fancy gourmet coffee, the really cheap pillow, and then my really fancy homemade coffee that I've been working so hard to get. So let's give it a try here. I'll do it, throw a little bit here in this filter, the water here. I don't know how people drink this stuff, but whatever. Let's try to filter some of that. All right. Now, I'm gonna try my hard work, many years in the making, my coffee. Let's put a couple generous spoonfuls of it. We have the 3 coffees here. We can clearly see this here is the really fancy one. This here is you can see much darker, it's the pillow, very, very dark roast. And here's my coffee. Looks kind of light, looks kind of like a juice, like a tea. Let's see what happens. Today's Corações coffee. It's nice, solid, a little bit acidic, not too much strong of a flavor. This is much better in the mocha. Maybe the next test we actually do it in the mocha, right? Now let's go for the pillow. Honestly, really dark, like burnt, kind of gasoline flavored. Like it, put some hair on your chest. Not that I need any more, but that's what it does. And now on to the supreme, amazing coffee that I made. It smells more like a tea than a coffee. Honestly, not that bad. Kind of weak, but super floral, citrusy. And I'm sure that if I actually put it in a mocha, right, like the more concentrated coffee, it wouldn't be as bad. So at the end of the day, my coffee, not terrible, not great, but not terrible. The gourmet from here, for sure, I would put as number 1. I put my coffee probably as number 2, and then I put this pillow, I'm sorry guys, as number 3. And as I drink my coffee and reflect on all the time and effort I made to plant my coffee, collect it, dry it, separate it, all the effort that I made just to craft something that was truly mine, I think to myself, was it really worth it? honestly, just buy the coffee at the supermarket.
Love, I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was